After that, God instructed Jacob to return to Bethel and build an altar. Jacob obeyed, telling his household to discard foreign gods and purify themselves. And God changed Jacob's name to Israel. Rachel died while giving birth to Benjamin. Jacob buried her near Bethlehem. Jacob eventually came home to his father Isaac in the land of Canaan. Isaac lived 180 years and died. Now Israel had 12 sons. But he loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, because he had been born to him in his old age. When Joseph was 17, he tended the flocks with his brothers, the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah. And he brought their father a bad report about them. One day, Israel made an ornate robe for Joseph. When his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him. Joseph had a dream, and he told his brothers,
"Listen to this dream I had. We were binding sheaves of grain out in the field when suddenly my sheaf rose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it."
Do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule us?
Then he had another dream, and he told it to his brothers.
"Listen, I had another dream. And this time the sun and moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me."
When he told his father this, his father rebuked him and said,
"What is this dream you had? Will your mother and I and your brothers actually come and bow down to the ground before you?"
His brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the matter in mind. Now his brothers had gone to graze their father's flocks near Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph,
"Go and see if all is well with your brothers and with the flocks, and bring word back to me."
So Joseph went after his brothers, and found them near Dothan. But they saw him in the distance, and before he reached them, they plotted to kill him.
Here comes the dreamer. Let's kill him and throw him into one of these cisterns and say that a ferocious animal devoured him. Then we'll see what comes of his dreams.
When Reuben heard this, he tried to rescue him from their hands, and take him back to his father.
"Let's not take his life. Don't shed any blood. Throw him into this cistern here in the wilderness, but don't lay a hand on him."
So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his ornate robe, and they took him and threw him into the cistern. As they sat down to eat their meal, they looked up and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead. Judah said to his brothers,
"What will we gain if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Let us sell him to the Ishmaelites and not lay our hands on him. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood."
His brothers agreed. So when the merchants came by, his brothers pulled Joseph up out of the cistern, and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to the Ishmaelites, who took him to Egypt. Reuben returned to the cistern and saw that Joseph was not there.
"The boy isn't there. Where can I turn now?"
Then they got Joseph's robe, slaughtered a goat and dipped the robe in the blood. They took the ornate robe back to their father and said,
We found this. Examine it to see whether it is your son's robe.
It is my son's robe. Some ferocious animal has devoured him. Joseph has surely been torn to pieces.
Jacob tore his clothes, put on sackcloth and mourned for his son many days. All his sons and daughters came to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted.
No, I will continue to mourn until I join my son in the grave.
Please subscribe to the channel for more stories of the Bible.